A brand new $300,000 mixer truck, traveling a straight road at 12 miles per hour, tips over. No curve, no excessive speed. One wrong load is all it takes. Concrete mixers roll over at 10 times the rate of passenger vehicles, and 56% of those rollovers happen on straight roads. The reason comes down to 70,000 pounds of physics that most drivers never see coming. A fully loaded mixer truck weighs in at 70,000 pounds, more than 8 times the mass of a typical SUV. This weight is not distributed low to the ground, but instead rides high, packed into a steel drum that sits above the axles. When empty, the truck's center of gravity hovers around 1.2 meters above the pavement. But as the drum fills with wet concrete, that center rises to nearly 1.8 meters. The physics behind this shift are straightforward but unforgiving. The truck's static roll angle, the maximum sideways tilt it can withstand before tipping, plummets from 56 degrees when empty to just 35 degrees when fully loaded. That means the margin for error shrinks dramatically with every cubic yard poured into the drum. Even a slight bump or a gentle steering correction can be enough to push the vehicle past its tipping point. The drum's design, tilted at a steep angle to help mix and pour, stacks the load high and narrows the base of support. Any lateral force, whether from a pothole, a gust of wind, or a minor swerve, acts on a mass perched dangerously above the truck's axles. The result? A 70,000-pound machine that can topple with surprising ease, even on a straight, level road. This raw instability is not a flaw in design, but a direct consequence of the physics required to deliver fresh concrete. Every load transforms the mixer from a stable hauler into a rolling balance beam, where the next force, no matter how small, can tip the scales. Mixer trucks are not just heavy. They are statistically among the most rollover-prone vehicles on the road. National crash data reveals that these trucks roll over at a rate 10 times higher than ordinary passenger cars. The numbers defy common assumptions about when and how these incidents occur. More than 80% of mixer truck rollovers happen with the drum nearly full, when the load is at its most unstable. The risk is not confined to sharp turns or high speeds. In fact, 56% of all mixer rollovers take place while the truck is traveling in a straight line. Even more surprising, 59% of cases occur at speeds of 15 miles per hour or less. Some of the most severe incidents have happened at just 12 miles per hour on flat, open stretches of road. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration and Department of Transportation estimate that concrete mixer trucks are involved in approximately 357 fatal crashes every year in the United States. These statistics highlight a critical reality. It is the combination of load state, vehicle dynamics, and operational decisions, not reckless driving, that creates the greatest risk. The myth that rollovers only happen to inexperienced or careless drivers does not hold up. The data shows that operators with 1 to 5 years of experience are more likely to be involved in a rollover than those just starting out. This pattern points to a hidden danger. As drivers gain confidence, they may underestimate the truck's instability, especially when deadlines are tight and the drum is full. The risk is built into the job, and it persists no matter how new or expensive the equipment. Every load of concrete begins a race against the clock. From the moment water hits cement at the batch plant, a chemical reaction starts and the mix begins to set. In most regions, ready-mix crews operate under a strict 2-hour window. If the concrete isn't poured and finished within that time, it risks hardening inside the drum. This isn't just a matter of convenience, it's chemistry. At 68 degrees Fahrenheit, a typical mix reaches its initial set in about 90 minutes. Warmer weather can cut that time sharply, sometimes down to an hour, while cold can stretch it. Admixtures like accelerators or retarders can tweak the deadline, but the pressure never disappears. Site managers know that every minute counts, especially when traffic or distance pushes the delivery close to the limit. In Cedar Rapids, Iowa, a fully loaded mixer rolled at just 13 miles per hour, well below highway speed, after the driver rushed to meet a delivery deadline. The urgency to beat the set time often forces split-second decisions, with little margin for error. The 2-hour clock is always ticking, and it shapes every choice on the road and at the job site. Operators with 1 to 5 years behind the wheel face. The risks tied to mixer trucks do not end once the vehicle is parked. Drum cleaning, a routine maintenance task, ranks among the most hazardous moments in the ready-mix industry. OSHA data from the past 5 years documents 3 fatalities and 12 serious injuries linked to drum cleaning incidents nationwide. The process often requires workers to enter the drum to chip away hardened concrete, exposing them to moving parts and confined spaces. On January 27, 2025, a technician in Tulsa, Oklahoma suffered multiple fractures and crush injuries when a junior operator mistakenly restarted the drum during cleaning. The investigation found no lockout procedure in place, an oversight that proved catastrophic. This type of accident is not rare. The combination of heavy machinery, poor visibility, and lack of standardized safety protocols creates a perfect storm for injury. Drum cleaning remains a hidden hazard, catching even experienced crews off guard and adding a layer of risk that extends well beyond road operations. A single equipment loss can devastate a contractor's bottom line. When a brand new mixer truck, valued at $300,000, goes down, the financial shock ripples far beyond the immediate repair or replacement. Insurance records from a high-profile San Francisco incident show a $210,000 deductible before any payout, leaving the contractor to absorb a major portion of the loss up front. The destroyed truck didn't just vanish from the fleet. Its absence triggered a cascade of delays, forcing the project to rent emergency equipment at premium rates and reschedule pours. Within weeks, the job's cost overran by another $450,000, erasing months of projected profit. Fleet managers describe the aftermath as a scramble, juggling claims paperwork, negotiating with suppliers, and facing hard questions from clients. For many, the numbers are sobering. One wrong load, one mistake, and a 6-figure asset is gone, with the fallout measured in lost contracts and strained reputations. Behind every crash statistic is a human life cut short. Department of Transportation records show that mixer truck incidents claim an average of 357 lives in the United States each year. A DOT safety analyst who has spent decades cataloging these cases describes a pattern that is both relentless and deeply personal. The database doesn't just count deaths on highways. It tracks drivers lost in rollovers, workers caught in drum cleaning accidents, and bystanders struck during routine deliveries. The causes are as varied as the victims: loss of control on a straight road, a moment's inattention during maintenance, a split-second decision made under pressure. Each number in the annual tally represents a driver, a laborer, or a family member who never made it home. For those tasked with analyzing the data, the work is a constant reminder that the risks of mixer operation are measured not only in dollars, but in lives. At just 12 miles per hour, a fully loaded mixer truck can become a physics experiment gone wrong. Safety engineers have reconstructed these rollovers with high-speed cameras and instrumented vehicles, revealing the invisible forces at play. Inside the drum, nearly 17 tons of wet concrete rotates at 5 revolutions per minute, behaving less like a solid and more like a slushing pendulum. When the driver brakes or hits a small bump, the liquid mass lags behind, swinging outward and generating a lateral overturning moment, expressed in the formula M equals M times G times R times sin phi. In a 2024 Iowa case study, a mixer truck traveling straight on level pavement tipped in just 0.3 seconds after a 0.6 G braking event. The simulation footage shows the drum's contents surging to one side, overwhelming the truck's static roll angle and sending 70,000 pounds onto its side. There is no warning, no dramatic swerve, just a sudden, irreversible collapse. The margin for error at low speeds is razor thin, and the laws of motion do not care if the truck is brand new or decades old. Every day, hundreds of fully loaded mixer trucks, each weighing 70,000 pounds, encounter risks far greater than most realize. Experience, truck age, and cautious speed offer no guarantees. The margin for error remains razor thin. In the world of ready mix, safety isn't built into the price tag. It's built into every decision.